Hey, beautiful people of the internet, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully great. Welcome back to another Warframe video. Of course, we are going to be talking about Oraxia. If you don't know, this is the newest Warframe in the current game. But before I continue with the video any further, I do want to talk to you guys about what's been happening in the background since the year 2023. So if you didn't know, if you're a big fan of my channel, you'll know that I used to be a lot more active. I used to be posting at least 5 pieces of content per week. Nowadays, I'm only posting once every blue moon. And the reason for this is because I've had to migrate from one country to the other. And doing so is quite taxing and relatively difficult, especially if you don't really have the financial backup that is required. And it can be quite difficult. And on top of that, I have faced a lot of hardship. Now, I'm not facing as much as hardship as I usually am. If anything, I'm just a lot more busier than usual, just because of the fact that I'm trying to get my current situation improved and sorted out. The unfortunate thing is that my internet is absolute rubbish. The reason why I say that is because it takes me like 2-3 hours just to upload a 10-minute long video, and on top of that, I'm not able to go and stream. So I do apologize for the severe lack of videos. I am doing my utmost best to try and sort everything out, but for the time being, as the saying goes, never give up regardless of how hard things are. Thank you for understanding. I really do appreciate it. Now back to the video. Now, if you didn't know, Oraxia is the latest frame, and she is a spider based frame, aka the spider frame or the Spider-Man of Warframe. I do want to say Spider-Woman, but I can't really come up with a nickname. If you guys have a nickname that's a lot more creative than the one I've just given, then I highly recommend you guys do leave a comment down in the video section or in the comment section. Without further ado, let's get this video on the road, shall we? Alright, so we're just going to quickly go over all of Oraxia's abilities, including the passive. Now, I'm not going to read all of it because you guys can just simply pause the video and read at your own discretion. With that being said, we're starting off with the passive. Essentially, wall lashing allows you to go invisible. And if you didn't know, that's very useful because A, the enemies can't kill you, and B, it gives you more damage multipliers if you guys are using the correct elemental damage. Next up is we are going to be talking about Mercy's Kiss. Essentially, when you damage the enemy enough, they'll have like this purple symbol on their head. This purple symbol means that you can kill them guaranteed, regardless of what level they are. As long as you see that purple symbol, they are dead. Next up is we're going to be talking about Webbed Embrace. This particular ability works very similar to how Ensnare on Korra works. Essentially, you're just going to trap all the enemies in one particular place. Doing so, you'll then be able to proc a damage vulnerability, which you'll then be able to deal more damage onto the enemies. Next up is we're going to be talking about Widow's Brood, and essentially, if you guys didn't know, Oraxia is a spider based frame, so it only makes sense to go and have your minions to be spawned by killing the enemies. Then your minions are just going to go around and start attacking everybody left, right and center. Them attacking the enemies, you'll then be able to go and proc a lot of toxin, because at the end of the day, given that they are spiders, it just makes sense to go and have toxin onto them. Next up is we are going to be talking about Silicon Stride. This is Oraxia's signature ability, or her ult, and essentially it is an exalted based ability. However, it is relatively unique. Instead of you going around and start attacking enemies with like a melee weapon that's exclusive to that frame, essentially you're just going to be going into spider mode, and you're going to have an increase to your general movement speed. Now, I do want to say it is a very fun frame to use, just because the fact that all you need to do is simply activate your fourth ability, and by looking at any hard surface and pushing shift while in the air, or just simply looking at any hard surface, you'll then be able to go and web sling yourself onto any surface. And once again, this particular ability does synergize with your passive. Another thing I do want to mention is that while you guys have your fourth ability, all of your weapons will be imbued with toxin damage. So before I go on with the build itself, I do want to talk to you guys about Archon Shards. As you guys can tell, we have 3 different Archon Shards. We've got ourselves the Crimson Archon Shard, which increases our ability strength by 15%. Then we've got 2 Tower Forged Emerald Shards. In this case, it's going to increase our overall toxin damage by 90%. If you guys didn't know, all of our abilities are toxin based, so we're just going to be increasing our overall damage even further. Next up is we are dealing with 2 Amber Shards, and in this case, it's going to give us a grand total of 100% energy effectiveness on pickup. Now as for the build, here is what we're going to be rolling around with. If you guys take a look at the top here, I haven't added any Forma whatsoever because this is an episode of budget builds where we use 0 Forma and achieve maximum efficiency. If you guys take a look at the bottom left here, you'll see that we've had practically a very neutral base build. Strength is at 238, range 175, efficiency 125, and finally duration is at 105%. First and foremost, Summoner's Wrath. This gives my companions 75% additional damage. So we are going to be rolling around Augur Secrets and Blind Rage to increase our damage vulnerability, and on top of that we are also going to be using Molt Augmented, which gives us another 60% additional power strength if we decide to go and get 250 kills. Next up is we are going to be using Fleeting Expertise and Streamline, just so that we don't get caught with our pants down, and therefore we can have an absolutely thriving energy economy. The same thing can be said with Prime Flow. This gives us a much larger energy pool, which will allow us to go and use and hold more energy and use a lot more abilities in a short amount of time. Next up is we are going to be focusing on range, so Stretch and Augur Reach is our go-to options, which will increase our area of effect for the webbing, which will then allow us to go and nuke rooms relatively fast. And finally, let's talk about the elephant in the room, that is Archon Continuity. Because we're going to be spraying so much toxin that we might as well go and add a secondary effect to it, and that is with Archon Continuity, not only does it give us even more duration, but it will also allow us to proc the enemies with corrosive if we're dealing with toxin. Now the mods are as follows. As you guys can tell, we've got Primed Point Blank, which will increase our raw damage, Galvanized Hell, and of course Vigilante Armaments to increase our multi-shot, Vicious Spread to give our multi-shot even more damage, Toxic Barrage, and of course Vigil Blast to give us that sweet viral, because we're going to be able to strip the enemy's armor. Hitting them with viral is just going to deal even more damage, because then we're going to be dealing with flesh. And then finally we are going to be adding Acid Shells, which will basically deal an AoE explosive depending on how much damage we go and deal to the target. Alright, so we are currently in the simulacrum, and just like every other Warframe video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how this particular build works. So first and foremost, go into your 4th ability, then latch on, therefore you're invisible. Then you want to hit down your number 2, which starts to ensnare them. Then hit them with your number 3, so therefore your minions will be spawned. Make sure that you're invisible because you know more damage, and then start shooting them. Doing so, as you guys can tell, you have absolutely nuked the room. And on top of that, you guys can tell our spiders are actually alive, so meaning that any other enemies or any other stragglers that do remain, then our spiders will take care of it. And I'll show you guys exactly how well the damage is. And one thing I do have to say is I really do enjoy playing as Oraxia, because this latching is just so cool. So once again, ensnare them, hit them with your 3rd ability, shoot them once, and I mean dead. They die so quickly that I'm not even able to show you guys exactly how effective the spiders are. So we'll do that one more time, except we're not going to shoot anybody, we're just going to let the spiders do all the work. Alright, so as you guys can tell, the spiders are killing them so quickly that I don't even know how to even explain to you guys. It's just ridiculous. Look at that, just eating right through all of that armor without any problem whatsoever. And essentially, I'm not even shooting at anybody, and if I really want someone dead, I can just assist the spiders and they'll be absolutely decimated. Ladies and gentlemen, I make some pretty awesome Warframe content, so if you guys would like to go from 0 to hero as fast as humanly possible, I highly recommend you guys go ahead and take a look at the rest of my videos. There'll be some links down in the description. If you guys would like to go ahead and have a much faster way of taking a look at the videos, go ahead and take a look at the videos at either the top right or top left. Even to this very day, I still don't know where YouTube decides to go and place them. Do remember to leave a like on this video, it always helps me out substantially. Spot and click the subscribe button for more Warframe videos and more streams. I'm made like a banana and split.